Okay, welcome back everyone. Hope you've topped up your orange juice or your lattes, and delighted to be joined in the box by the ever popular, the man with the biggest IPA badge on his top in the world, Lee Ray. Welcome, Lee.
Good morning, Kevin. How are you?
Morning. Not too bad, not too bad. Just starting to wake up a little bit now. Felt tired this morning.
Nothing a full English can't sort out.
Yeah. Even half in English. But,
the badge is smaller now, I'll have you know.
yes, I noticed what's going on. Is it
only
shrunk in
6
the
inches
wash?
now. It's only 6 inches now.
So we've got a great match coming up, and also on one of the outer tables where we've got a camera positioned. There's a deciding frame between Jason Rimington and Nicky Ella. They're 6-all, so we might just have a quick look at that one. You can see there the great shots that Streamscape, our stream providers, Dave, basically, is providing. Where's that going to go?
Oops.
Yeah, we'll come back to Jason when that gets to the nitty-gritty part. So we've got a contrast here. We've got Simon Ward, one of the big names.
Yeah.
Of global pool.
Big breaker.
Yes, big break. One of the most inventive shot makers I think there is in the game. And he's playing Jared Cronje, who some of you may know, may not. He likes a little money game, does Jared, but he's a very good player.
He is. Yeah, he's took out a few big players I've seen.
Probably the first time he's been on the stream, so it'll be interesting to see how he copes with it. We've just had a little chat earlier with Gaz Higgins, who just dumped out Jordan Shepherd, and he was nice, and first time for him, he was nice and relaxed.
Was that the first time he was on the stream table?
Yeah, played solid.
Played
solid, so
it's all in your mind, isn't it?
Yeah,
he took it. He did really well, Gaz. He's played really solid against Jordan Shepherd. What was the final score? 7-4.
Yeah.
So Simon's on yellows now. Got a couple of tricky little balls. He needs to stun off this cushion and try and release one on the back cushion. Oh, it's unfortunate.
You got your name on the stream, even though you're not in the competition. You see that?
Yeah, alright, yeah, thank you.
You see it? That's me on again.
Thank you for highlighting that point that I'm out. I'm not out yet. I've got Mark Farnsworth in the morning.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Oh, that should be a good one.
It will be.
That didn't reach.
2 shots. Yeah, I've got Mark at 10:30.
Well, you get a lie in then, don't you?
Yeah, that's a good one, yeah.
We'll look after you.
Last
boys,
Sunday game I had was 9 o'clock, and they are early games, and you need to like wake up a little bit, don't you, before you get going.
Could do with a latte now that I've mentioned it now.
Well, I could actually.
Yeah. Is there any consent to go get any?
You must have some pull and power, Kev.
David, have you got? Are you free now? Are you doing anything? Get power for a couple of. Oh, he's got himself sorted. Have you noticed?
Yeah.
He's there with all
nice
his
shot from Jared there.
All his equipment.
So
Where's Louis?
Little angle on this shot now to then top through for the middle bag.
That's the flasker now. He's inside of his flask there. It's like a fire extinguisher.
Yeah. Our tech guy's got the flask the size of the Goliath. Must be here all day drinking tea.
It's like Apollo 7 packed up at the side of us. Oh, that's a careless one there from Jared.
That's a great ball from Simon there. He's one good developing shot required now. Any contact on the yellow, he should be in some good position. Yeah, played it lovely. Looks like it's going to be 1-0 to Simon Ward, taking the first frame. Yeah. Good shot.
We just didn't quite manage the end of the Jason Rivington Nikiela match, which Nikiela just came through, another of those North East contingent.
Yeah. He's a new player who's came on this year. He's came from a 9-ball tour, 9-ball background kind of thing.
Right, okay.
He's took on to Blackball his first year in it.
Enjoyed it? Is he enjoying it?
He's an out-and-out potter and he loves it, yeah, so he's learning as he's going, one of them, but he's certainly strong. He's, as an amateur now, he's just played Jason Rivington there and won. He's doing really well.
What is it about pool in the North East? Why is what
something
happens?
In the water, I think. I don't know. It is weird, isn't it? There's actually really an abundance of talent down there. The local area where I'm from, we've got the lad who's just been chasing Nikiela, Craig Brown, and Ryan Clark. There's some really, really good standard. Then obviously a bit further away from us, you've got your Farnsworths and your Mickey Olivers, and all within 10, 15, 20 miles of each other.
So what's been the enabler to that happening? Is you've got good clubs, or what's it's nothing else to do, or
I don't know. I really don't know. I was always a snooker early doors, and a lot of my friends and stuff there were always snooker background. So I think pools just got bigger and bigger, and then switched over. And usually, I think the most decent snooker players usually quite good at pool, and they're usually quite handy. So another good frame there from Sam Ward, no messing around. 2-0.
Reverse dish from the in-off from Jared.
Looks comfortable straight away, does Simon?
Yeah, he's not the sort of person you want to give a 2-frame lead to, is he?
No,
he will.
You don't want to be sitting in your seat too much and letting Simon have much table time.
You can be quite vulnerable sometimes, Simon, early on in a competition. We've seen him, being beat early on. It's either right at the business end or,
Yeah, well, the Sam Ward, he kind of dropped off the radar a little bit, didn't he, towards the end of last year. But this year he seems to have done a lot more. His name's up there all the time now.
Yeah, huge break again.
I think he had a child. Did he have a little baby, or was it?
Well, he didn't, but his wife did, yeah. And
oh, okay, then my mistake. Hey, Kev, you cracked me up. So maybe he wasn't putting the table time in or what have you, but baby's probably crawling now, so he wants to get out the house.
So if you break and going off, is that a dry break or an unforced error, or is it both?
I think it goes down as a dry break.
Right then. Happy with that. But is it not an unforced error as well?
I think that's the bit of a grey area, isn't it? It's a bit harsh to say it's an unforced error.
It's a tough school in here.
Yeah, well, you're the boss.
Yeah, right. I'm off to Caribbean anyway. Everyone keeps telling me I'm off to Caribbean.
Again?
Some posts I keep reading.
How is the villa anyway, alright?
Yeah. The Swiss bank account's under a bit of pressure at the moment, but everything else
What with the weight of it?
Yeah, well, I cast a cheque and the bank bounced, so...
I wish I was 100 grand behind you, Kev.
Yeah.
Have you noticed the way Simon plays with the... He puts his chalk on the table every time I'd end up forgetting. And he's at the other end of the table.
Ron Cribb, he's just asking what FF means on the Q score results site means. Well, it just means forfeit basically, so the opponent has probably no-showed. Simon comes into his element when it's all intricate and it's all just little plants and little delicacies.
These shots on the stream table are very tricky. If you've got a 3/4 ball shot, it's not so bad to hold your white, but when the little thin quarter ball shots, you can lose your white quite easily.
Oh, it's just
enough.
Too bad.
Just enough, yeah.
Probably won't be able to take them out in the order he originally wanted.
No. I love the new camera above the table, Kev. Did you make that?
I didn't make the camera. No, that probably came from China. But no, Dan Fairway, who does all our lights, he built the rig.
Right.
And have you noticed the lights underneath are two new ones, the LED lights, which we're going to be hopefully using next year.
Yeah, they seem perfect. There's no shadow on the table, anything.
Yeah.
It's great conditions. What's he going to do? Is he going to try and bump this out, do you think? Can't see where he's going to play into. Unless he's going to play a little bit left into the black, possibly.
Yeah, I assumed it went in the top left-hand corner, so he would have played onto it from this one at the bottom right.
I think if he can hold on the black somehow, he might have a shot in the middle. Oh, he's played it flat.
Is it going this corner?
Must go in the bottom right corner. Oh, it looks tight, doesn't it? Oh, he's playing the middle. Yeah, he's played the middle. From our angle, it looked a bit different, didn't it? Where's he going with this one, Kev? Double?
Well, if anyone can improvise a shot, it's Simon Ward. I think the back double gives him, particularly where the yellow's at, gives him a better guide. But he might just look to just double it straight into this bottom left.
I think it's a thin court.
Yeah, reverse back double. Standard reverse back double. Because that yellow in the middle of the table, it acts as a good guide for him, doesn't it? He might even get a little flick off it, it might just help.
That's right.
But it's tough, it stucks tight from the overhead, that, doesn't it?
It looks like a really thin cut, this.
I think it's
the
double.
white's going towards the corner bag as well.
I think double bottom left-hand corner. Well, top left as we look on the overhead. Yeah. If we just draw some white lines on the screen, does that work? See, the nature of the game, it is a big shot, because if he misses it and Jared nicks the frame, then it's back on serve.
That's right, yeah.
And Jared's 2 and down, and it's his break, and
gets his arm going a little bit, doesn't it?
Yeah.
But 3-0 down. You can't let Sam Ward go 3-0 up at such early days.
Yeah, doubles a shot. Looks close.
Absolutely.
Oh, where's the white?
Oh, no.
Oh. Wow.
It was a great double as well.
He's concentrated that much.
Oh.
That's one of those agonising ones.
Jared out a break, back in the game.
Is that an unforced error?
That is unforced error.
So, lifeline.
Let's see what Jared can do.
He's obviously concentrated that much on the double and getting the pace right and the angle. Just forgot about the white. Could have been 3-0, but it's 2-1. Big break from Jared.
Big crunch. Oh, Black's in.
Gets to do it all again.
Are you a big hitter from the front, Kev?
Pardon?
Are you a big hitter from the front?
Yep. I'm trying to get something that'll measure the speed of the brakes.
All right.
For next year, if the budget will allow it.
Yeah. You were saying earlier, it's the tennis side of thing have something similar, don't they? They can record speeds of 100 odd mile an hour. Yep, it's a ball potted for Jared. I think he'll pick on yellows here. Oh, reds are also nice, to be honest. This will tell us where he's at in regards to nerves, calmness. The stream table can catch you out if you're a little bit under pressure. Them extra twitchy shots, you can fall out of position quite easily.
Just to run on.
Commentator's curse, I think. I think that's a total, to be honest.
Yeah, it looks it on the overhead. Yeah.
But yeah, it'd be interesting, Kev, if you got the speed of the balls off the brakes. What kind of speed do you think they're going at? I would have no idea. Sure. I mean, obviously tennis players 100 odd mile an hour, 123 mile an hour, something.
Well, I would think it would
be somewhere
up there.
Up, yeah, I would think it'd be somewhere up, especially like Simon Ward or what would Mark Farnsworth be, do you reckon? 50. I hope you heard that, Mark, for Sunday.
Yeah, it'd be difficult because it's such a shorter space. It could even be faster, couldn't it? Because obviously tennis ball's got a longer distance to go.
You have no
so the speed's going to be averaged out.
There's no resistance either, is there? Like wind resistance and stuff. You basically 200 mile an hour.
Could be 200 mile an hour.
Called it. I'm aiming for.
200 mile an hour break. Can you hit the ball as fast as Lewis Hamilton can drive around Malaysia?
I can see another trophy coming in here. fastest hitter of the break goes to
Ronan McCarthy.
Somebody put something in your coffee, Kev.
There's no coffee. Where's Chris?
Get him a coffee.
Where's Chris? Come on. Get the... If anyone's listening on the chat and they're passing Heathrow, drop us a couple of lattes in.
One tricky ball now for Simon on the top rail. Going to try and land on it straight away. Wants to leave himself not straight on this. An inch or two off the cushion was nice. Yeah, that's a good shot. Not much to do with the white now, just needs to make sure of the pot. That can be a bit tricky along these rails. Played it well.
Yeah, perfect position.
Yeah.
So this has come from Jared's careless positional shot. He's snooked himself.
No problem.
No messing about. Quick as a flash. 3-1 Simon Ward. I'll just leave you for a minute late.
Yeah,
I'm going to get the coffees ordered.
Yeah, 3-1 now to Simon Ward. It's Simon to break. Simon does have a really, really big break. If these land nice, he doesn't want to make any mistakes and go 4-1 up against Jared. See if we can have a break and dish this for him. Can we get the stats on the screen there, Dave? Just to give you a little look, everybody. And there we go. Both players have had dry breaks. Both players have had pots off the breaks. Gerard's missed one crucial ball where Simon hasn't missed any balls. The unforced error from Simon was when he screwed the white ball off the black. Other than that, really, it's quite good going. See if we can have some form of ball down, break and dish. Paul O'Brien's asked a question. He's saying, Lee, are you looking forward to your match against Mark Farnsworth? And is there any added pressure because he's rank 1? Yeah, I'm looking forward to a game against Mark Farnsworth, absolutely, definitely. As we all know, yeah, he is up the top with the rankings and he's a solid player. But there's the whole cliche, people say, don't play the ball, don't play the player, play the balls. I think it's always in the back of your mind that if you make a mistake, that it could be crucially over. But myself personally, I'm quite attacking, and I'll be going out all guns blazing, and it'll just come naturally to me. If I pot them and do good, I do good. If I don't, Mark will probably take the frame, but I'll just take each frame as it comes. Really, I don't think there'll be an awful lot of added pressure. Through playing on the tour for the past 2 years now, there's some big names that I've played, and you kind of learn to relax against some of these big boys. But I suppose it is all on the day, and hopefully I give him a good go. I think he'll be more worried about me. He'll be fearing me, I think. Not. Oh, that's interesting. Steve Joyce there, he says he's googled brake speeds, so it's obviously been done before, and he's saying the average kind of brake is 30 to 40 kind of miles per hour, I presume that is. I like the true big brakes. I thought it would be a lot bigger than that, but that's interesting. Our estimate of 200 man-hours quashed, but that is interesting though, yeah, 30-40 miles per hour. Nice yellow in the middle now for Simon, if he can just hold enough for this next yellow. He couldn't, he had to bounce off the cushion. That's a lovely shot. It's looking to be 4-1 to Simon. Very comfortable around the table in the stream table, Simon. I think he likes it. Jared needs to get a good start now. He needs to start going all in, I think. Otherwise, he could find himself slipping away. This is his opportunity to do something now. So a ball off the break there for Jared. Let's see what he can do. He's got quite a good chance with red balls. Jared's going to play the plant now. Try and get that bit of danger out the way. He may play it in a way, a bit of pace, so that the first ready hits comes back out. Yeah, that's come out lovely. Needs to be careful on his position here, because he can't run away, and with the black not going in either bottom bags by the looks of it, he has to land on the nice side of his last red. Just kind of see what angle he's got on this red ball. May choose to screw into the black. If he's got enough angle to top it through for the ball on the cushion in the same bag. Yeah, it's a nice shot. Just needs to cue this ball nicely, pull it back. Roughly where the white is now. Yeah, I think he might have just have enough. don't think you can see it. Right, this is indicating that it does go in this corner bag. Looks tight. Must only have a half a bag. Oh, missed it by quite a bit there. Put Simon under a little bit of danger because Simon has 4 balls in that quarter of the table, with the black hanging over the bag. I wonder how Simon goes about this. Yeah, he's going to land on the. He's going to play the bottom left corner, and then try and nudge the black over a little bit with the one on the bottom rail. Didn't think he wanted to be too straight there. See what angle he's got. It's a little bit of a shame though for Jared missing that black there to get himself back in the match 4-2, but it did seem quite tight, that black ball. Goes down as a nice pot early for Jared. Yeah, it's a nice shot from Simon. He's going to play the one down the rail. His hard ball, he's going to top it through. So, you know, any danger of missing the pot, he should have it protected from the yellows. But that doesn't seem any problem. This is a bit tricky if he's landed too straight. Might be playing it into the middle. He's left himself a double. It was always tricky that the way it was going. I think Simon's quite a good double there. Simple. Yeah, Simon's definitely firing today, and it's 5-1 now. Lead to Simon. Odd. With Simon to break. Simon's another player who uses one of the break-off cues. Gives him a good crunch. Can we get an overhead view there, can we, Dave, for these break? And he's come up dry. Dry break from Simon Ward there. Come on, Jared, see if you can get back in this game. So Jared's got he's got a tricky red on the bottom right corner of the table. So need to try and find an angle on one of his balls, potentially the middle ball. Let's say the red going to the middle, nearest to the awkward one. That should be the ball that he'd be cleaning it from. Wonder if he could have an angle to top this through. And try and disrupt a bit of the danger on the right, sorry. So Kevin, we've been notified that he googled the speed of the brakes and it's around about the 30-40 mile per hour.
30 to 40? That's not 200, is it?
Bad call, Kev.
We can probably count it ourselves.
I'd faster on my bike.
30 to 40?
I know.
What were they using to measure? An abacus?
A ruler.
Oh, anyway, on the plus side, the lattes are ordered.
Have you got me one?
Yeah.
Thank you.
The lattes are ordered.
Oh, that's unlucky that they played it well, nudged the red lovely. There's always that danger that, you know, cannons and kisses can come out wrong. But I was unlucky where it's just snuck in behind the yellow there for Jared. He seems to be fighting a little losing battle at the moment.
Yep.
One good hit though on this ball, up and down off the back cushion. Should leave Simon a tester because he's got a few tough balls as Simon. So 100% on hitting this ball can give Jared a chance. Oh, he's hit hard, he's missed. I'd have been inclined to just play that dead weight. 2 shots to Simon, that's an unforced error. Yeah, I know he's probably hit it hard to try and give himself a chance, which, yeah, I can see that side of things, but yeah, there's the replay, yeah. So that's an unforced error from...
So some of the matches in play at the moment. We'll see if we can pick out any...
How's Gaz Hibbert getting on? Did he win, or is he still playing?
Gaz Hibbert. He won 7-2 against Connor Jones.
Right.
So let's see.
Simon's surprised me there a little bit. He's got hard balls off the cushion, and he's played a safety. That normally Simon's is more attacking than that, but it's still the right shot. But yeah, he's let an opponent back into the table, and Gerard's hit his ball well there. What about Clint Jansen, Kev? Is any news on his game?
He's 4-0 up against Paul Crawford from Scotland.
Okay.
Just looking at that one now. David Adinal. He comes over from the Isle of Man. He's 2-1 up against Ross Fernie.
Fabian Modley says, why does the brake cue have a black ferrule? I believe it's the material that's used. Is it so it doesn't need chalk? Is that right? Like, is a certain kind of material?
I'm not really clued up too much on brake cues.
Yeah, I think that's what it is. It's the material that's used. Obviously, it's black. I don't think they chalk it. I think. I'm not too clued up myself with them.
Right, Stephen Joyce, he's been busy on Google this morning. He's found an app for €5.50. Have you got your wallet with you?
Yes. There's no in it though.
Have you got a €5 note?
I can lend you a €5 if you want to lend €5.
For recording brake speed. I mean, the things I saw on the internet range from about 80 quid, and it's like an LED.
Good shot from Simon.
LED display monitor type thing.
Right.
But I emailed the company, and they never got back to me. Otherwise, we might have tried to have it for this event.
Who was it who mentioned that there was 30-40 miles per hour? It was.
The what ones? Yeah.
So it was Stephen Joyce here. You mentioned the 30-40. Do you know, Simon? Stephen. Has this been measured before then, or is this just what you've googled? Just for curiosity, if it's any other tours or any other competitions have had the same idea with the speed.
30. That just feels so wrong, doesn't it?
I think I can hit harder than 30 miles per hour. Yeah.
Oh no, it's got one.
Yeah. It's first to 7 these aren't they, Kev? These frames, so this seems to be Gerard's last
Can we get a score up this, please?
bite of the cherry. Needs to make sure he can find some flow now. No more room for error. There was a little bit of a shock result yesterday, wasn't there, with the Mark Boyle game and Simon Doyle? Simon Doyle went 5-1 down, I think he went, didn't he, Simon Doyle?
5-0.
5-0, was it 5-0?
5-0, yeah. 165.
165, yeah. Great result.
Yeah, but he's still batting, Mr. Boyle, and he's up next against the legend that is Ronan McCarthy. That should be a cracker.
Yeah, so that's a good game, yeah.
Not bad for a last 1-8.
No. Gets one of them big names out. Amazing.
Looks half in, that one.
A quick look. I think all Simon's balls go. I think the red in the bottom right corner, I think it does just sneak through that gap. Maybe not, judging by Simon's facial expressions. See what he can do.
How can you see his facial expressions? He's got his back to us.
Oh, it wasn't his face.
So anyway, Paul O'Brien, he's got a dilemma, and you're the man to help him out.
Okay.
So the team he plays for has folded. So does he join a team with his friends and risk them losing 20 points on the handicap, or join another team where he knows a few players but there'll be no points taken?
Yeah, it depends if you're a competitive team or you're out for a good old laugh and see how it goes. Yeah, what is the part of the handicap?
Yep. What is the handicap all about?
Why would you get handicapped if you're with your mates?
At the end of the day, if you're going out and playing pool, you need to be enjoying it.
Yeah.
No good just
I'd choose my mates, I'm afraid, yeah.
You know, if you're not enjoying it, then it ain't going to last, is it?
No.
So, yeah, if you've got to take a 20-point hit,
yeah.
But you keep the enjoyment levels, then...
I agree with that. I would go with your mates. Paul O'Brien. Have we got any viewers from far afield, Kev? Do you know? Can you tell on there? Or?
Well, let's ask the question.
Yeah.
We had a lot from Devon yesterday, and there was a lot of weather systems in Devon. In the middle, it was sort of nice weather.
Mm.
In the south, it was raining, and in the north, it was nice and sunny.
Mm.
But yeah, let us know where you're watching from. We had one guy watching from the top of a wind turbine.
Yeah, you usually get the odd person in the bath, don't you? I presume they're grinding these coffee beans up, are they?
Well, they've had to go out.
Right.
They've had to go out to get proper lattes. Fingers crossed it's a Costa. But it might be McDonald's. McDonald's latte is not bad.
No?
Not bad.
I'm one of them Greg's ones on them on. You get the Greg's sandwich and a latte for £2.
Now they do that omelette as well in it, don't they?
Do they?
They do.
The omelette sandwich thing.
We can do like a sausage and omelette.
Right, Sam was a bit... Yeah, I think he went for the... I think it was the cut he went for. But it's an unforced error for Simon.
I put it as a mispot.
Oh, it's my mispot, sorry, my bad. Right, come on, Jared. Not biased, I'm just wanting Jared to try and get back in this game. For a bit of excitement. Yeah, good shot. No problems here. I think Jared will take this frame. Did you just play much snooker then, Kev, or have you always been a pool background?
Started off snooker. I was never really good enough. I was sort of a 40-50 break man, and that's not good enough. So.
Because you have played pool for a long time, I think, haven't you?
Yeah. I played it even before it was invented.
He's very old.
I was playing pool even before it was. But yeah, a friend of mine, Andy Richardson, he introduced me to pool competitions.
Right. Shot Jared.
And
6-2.
I remember going to it. It was in Manchester. I think I would have been about 18, 19.
Spots and
like
stripes
that.
then?
It was squares and ovals. No, it was. I think it was. There used to be a series of events called Northern Pool Promotions. And it was one of them where if you knew the organiser and you rang him up and said, "Oh, I can't get there till 12 o'clock," you'd be in the quarters.
Right.
It was
Shenanigans.
Yeah. And I played a best of 5, old EPA rules, and it lasted just under 4 hours.
Oh God!
And nothing's changed since.
Oh. This could be another big chance now for Jared to get back in the match.
So we're classing that as a dry break.
Yes. Yes. What do you think, guys? Would you go with that as a dry break or an unforced error? Because potentially you could say it wasn't a dry break, but yeah, the Reds are open now.
They have the handicap system based on the standard of the teams. So if one team's got a load of county players or internationals, they have a handicap.
Right, okay. Well then I suppose the handicaps will be right though, won't they? So if he's having to sacrifice 20 points, he must be of a good standard that, So yeah, it does make it fair then. So yeah, get with your mates.
It's a good idea that, actually. I've never...
Oh yeah, he's okay.
Never heard of that before.
No?
Not in a league, no. It's a good idea.
I like a few competitions where they do a bit of a handicap competition. I think that's quite interesting. If the handicaps are right, that is. Need a bit bigger of a bounce there. He's White's running into the red. Might have to just screw it back off his bottom cushion.
Anyway, breaking news. Bronwyn, who's normally a part of our top table team, but she's not here this weekend. She's in the hairdressers.
He's left nothing.
I hope she's enjoying herself at the hairdressers. So this could be This could be his last shot if he doesn't. Where's it going? Try to clip it in the middle. Do we class that as a missed pot?
Yep. Yeah, so Stephen Joyce has been back on again with the speed of the balls. He's actually saying that only the biggest they've hit is actually getting to the 30s, so we've even gone even lower now, Kev. We're into the 20s now.
Yeah, I remain to be convinced. $30 mile, it just doesn't seem. Morning, Bron. She's getting the golden locks. Mind you, what colour are you having this time, Bron? So I think this is the last rites on this match.
Yeah. Mm-hmm.
Most of the speeds are recorded for US pool, so just trying to think about it logically. One, the balls are heavier. Don't know if that makes a difference. There's a greater distance to travel, so the speed will drop. I don't know.
The distance it covers, it won't drop much. Okay.
No. Right.
One good positional shot from Simon now. He's got a nice angle.
Ooh, that's a
Bit high. He left himself.
Do meters per second.
That could sound a lot higher, yeah.
Yeah.
Back into the 200s.
We need to get to 200 somehow, don't we?
Simon can afford to play this.
Can play as a shot enough.
Yeah. Yeah, he's played that really good, yeah. It's a great shot.
So probably just clip it in the middle.
Yes, he's there.
And there we go.
Well done, Simon Ward.
Simon Ward. He goes through to the last 64. So Bron, we're going to get Simon in. Is there anything we need to ask him? Do you need to check if he's brushed his teeth or anything this morning?
Simon can explain the material on his tip as well.
Yeah.
He's the one with the man with the black tip.
I'll get some proper answers now. People who know what they're on about. Make sure he doesn't escape. So just bear with us for a couple of seconds, and we'll get Mr. Ward for a few comments. Well played, Simon.
Well played.
Just before we get on to the match, some important news. Mum's in the hairdressers, and we're not quite certain what rinse it's going to be today.
Red?
You know.
Could be red.
Any insight?
No idea.
Pleased with the performance?
Yeah, played pretty good. So I've lost a bit of concentration midway through, but felt pretty good, yeah, and played okay.
Obviously, Jared looked a little bit tense.
When the draw came out, I was I know he can play a bit, but I was quite pleased we were on the TV table because he probably hasn't had that much TV time, and obviously I'm pretty used to it. So I think it can go both ways. Though I mean, he could have really thrived off it and sort of popped me off the table, but luckily, sort of as you say, he was a bit tense and froze a bit, so made it a bit easier for me.
And we saw in the first match on the stream that almost the opposite happened. Gaz Higgins first time on the stream, and he played really well and beat Jordan. Yeah,
of course. I mean, a lot of people sort of thrive off it, but it's a different experience. So I mean, you need to sort of mentally be switched on, and sometimes you can be your first time on the TV table and you can play really well and, as I say, thrive off it, and sometimes it can feel a bit
tense.
Yeah, as if you want the match to end straight away.
One of the questions on the chat on the stream was around your break cue and the ferrule and the black material that what is it? What's it made
of? Well, Jason Owen made me the cue for Chinese 8 ball, and so it's got a carbon fibre ferrule, but at the time I was using a Dragon queue, which is completely different to what I'm using now. But when Jason made me the new queue for English 8-ball, they're apart from the thickness, they're pretty much identical. So it felt like I was breaking my playing queue, and obviously it's I think it's an 11mm tip. So I mean, you can break the balls as much as you want, and nothing will ever happen to the queue, especially with a carbon fibre ferrule. So obviously you lose a bit of control, but I think obviously I try to hit the balls as hard as possible, and I don't think you can do that with your own playing queue because you'll be going through tips and ferrules every couple of weeks, I would imagine.
Is it a central kind of shot? You just have to, you can't put much side on and stuff then, or
yeah, well,
can you get away
I mean,
with
when you first cue down on the shot, I mean, the tip looks bigger than the white ball, so it takes a bit of getting used to. So I mean, basically, I just try and I haven't really got the cue action to be able to hit it as hard as I can and control where everything's going. So I just hit it as hard as I can, and hopefully the white's travelling so fast it's too scared to going off.
Well, we've just been having a bit of chatter about
here's one for you.
The speed of the brakes and what the likely speeds are. I mean, we were thinking about 100 mile an hour plus.
What would you guesstimate a brake speed?
We had a competition in Bridlington years ago, and they had a speed gun, and I'm sure it was surprisingly slow. I think it was about 40 kilometres was the speed, but that's from memory. That is, I can't remember. But
it's 25 miles an hour.
Yeah,
that's what's coming in now. It's.
I remember coming second because we had Jason Shaw won the competition, and I remember coming second in that. So obviously, if I time it right, I know I can hit the ball pretty hard. But
is it working properly? 25 miles an hour. It just doesn't seem right.
No, it doesn't. No, but as I say, obviously, there's not much space for the cable to travel. I suppose I'm not really sure how fast it goes, but I'm sure that figure comes up from memory.
Yeah, it's been estimated around about the 30. 30 is a big hitter, apparently. Yeah. So.
Yeah, I think it was 40 to 45 kilometres per hour, I'd imagine, which, is, as you say, is about 30 mile an hour.
I reckon you'll be up to the 30s like Simon, would you?
Were they all like 12-year-olds who were trying to break? I mean, it just doesn't feel right, does it?
They can't be going to the gym, can they?
No, they're not. Don't work out like Simon does now. He's put an extra couple of miles an hour on, hasn't he?
It's difficult, though, because until you get warmed up, especially when you're breaking with a cue that's that big, I mean, I'm not I'm not giving it 100% because I know that I'm not timing the ball right, and the white's just going to end up next door somewhere. So I try and sort of hold back a bit until I can feel I'm timing the ball better, and then start giving it a bit of welly. Then.
Yeah. Did you feel a little bit rusty? I know you went for practice yesterday because you had a bye in the pro match, so you didn't get a match yesterday. Do you feel a little bit, stiff early on?
Not really. So I went to Crucible Sports Bar Newbury yesterday because they've got two Simnus 861 tables. So I practiced on them for about 2 or 3 hours yesterday, and to be honest, I felt pretty good. You never really know, even if you've practiced for weeks, until you actually play your first match. You don't really know how you're feeling, and I felt pretty good. So hopefully that can continue.
What do you think of the venue?
Yeah, it's great. Yes, it's pretty good for us. Obviously, it's just off the M4, so it's not too much travelling. The room is really good. There's obviously a lot of space around the tables and everything, which is a bonus. And obviously, that means you can get a really good setup for the stream table then, which is the main thing, I suppose.
So we'll just get your thoughts on the next match that's coming up. Not bad for a last 1-2-8 match. Mark Boyle, Ronan McCarthy.
Oh, nice one. I'm glad I avoided them too.
What's your thoughts on that one?
It's a coin flip, I suppose. I mean, obviously, Mark's done better on the tour this year than Ronan has, I suppose. But I mean, they're basically two top players, 1st to 7. It's their first match. I know Mark will played yesterday, but it's their first match of the day. It's pretty much a 50-50.
What I've found with Mark Boyle, he's so comfortable on the stream table. Yeah. The outer tables, you see, you can make the odd mistake, but I've seen him on the stream table and he's faultless at times.
You probably find that, to be honest. I mean, I think he'd rather play on the stream table than any other table, because obviously that's where he's won most of his matches, and obviously that's where he's had the
people are watching, and he gets in a better zone, doesn't he?
Yeah, I personally myself, I much prefer it sort of to play on the stream table. It helps me concentrate a bit more as well.
Yeah, that's right.
Because sometimes you can lose a bit of focus if you're sort of playing in the corner of the room.
But if it's in the back of your head that your mum's watching and the hairdressers, and
she's watching the hairdressers,
and my performance affects what colour hair turns out to be. So.
We're all on tenterhooks here, wondering what the outcome's going to be, but hopefully she'll keep us updated.
I think she's going to do reds and yellows.
Reds and yellows, yeah, with a bit of blue, flag, a bit of blue underlying. So looking back over the season, it's the last tour. No, it's not the last event for you. With the World Series in Jib coming up at some point, although and if Paul's listening, get well soon. Review of the season for you personally.
I've played pretty. Apart from I think it was the second event in Bradford, I just didn't play well at all. I didn't turn up. I've played pretty well all season, to be honest, but I just haven't had the results. I think Newcastle was a bit of a letdown for me. I think I should have. I took my eye off the ball a bit. I knew Clint was. I was starting to play really well, and I knew that Clint was playing really well. And I really fancied playing him in the final because we played each other quite a bit, and we usually have, whether we both play well or not, we usually have a pretty good final. And I take my eye off the ball a bit. I was looking forward to that, and I just didn't turn up in the semi-finals. So that was a bit of a letdown because I haven't done well in an open event for a while. But I played pretty well all season. I just say the standard's so high. It was just the odd match here and there where I just either my opponents played better than me, or I just made a couple of mistakes and ended up losing. So it's a fine line at times.
So between sort of now and the World Championships, we've all got a bit of downtime. What sort of generally will you be doing? Will the queue be completely put away for a few months?
Yeah, it'll be packed away until at least 3 days before the event. Yeah,
it's a common thing that now, isn't it? Everyone's hanging the queue up till after Christmas.
Yeah, it's I just use sort of the week leading up to the event as my sort of practice. I mean, when I was younger, I used to play 4 or 5 times a week. So over the last 15-20 years, I've probably done my fair share of practicing. So I don't feel like I need to play as much as I used to. And I say I've turned up today, and I really enjoy playing in the events and competing against the best players, and playing on the stream table is great. But I've got no sort of motivation to practice anymore.
You don't do the set routines?
No, and if I was turning up and playing bad and feeling a bit rusty, then yeah, I would. But because I'm not, I'm turning up and feeling okay, and I don't see any point in sort of going to the pool room and practicing when I'm not really getting much out of it, to be honest. So as I say, I mean, I was probably a really big practicer a couple of years ago. I used to play all the time, so I've probably done my fair share, to be honest.
When you do practice then, Simon, do you do like a lot of routines, or do you just have sparring partners that you just keep there? Yeah,
well, yesterday I practiced on my own, so I basically did a couple of playing against myself, just breaking and finishing, and basically if you don't break and finish, you lose the frame. So that's quite tough. That's like playing a robot. I do a couple of routines, put all the balls on the rail and try and clear up, put all the balls in the middle of the table, and try and clear up from the balk line, things like that. But as I say, most of the time, if I do practice, I like to play against someone. But I think the last time I had a practice, I played Ben, and obviously people know that Ben's basically playing almost full time now, and he's playing really well. And I turned up against him, and we had a first to 25, and I think I managed to take 4 or 5 frames off him.
Well done.
Thank you. Yeah, and I was thinking, I can't bother with this. This isn't what I'd rather play him in a tournament first to 8 than practice him first to 25. So as I say, it doesn't really appeal to me anymore. But it's not because I'm not enjoying the pool. I'm really enjoying the competitive side of it, but I don't think I'm getting much out of it, to be honest. So I just prefer to come to the tournaments and see how I do.
Do you play money games then, Simon? Have you?
I've played a few, but I've run out of money, so I've stopped.
He's got a wife and family now.
You were very similar, Simon.
Those days of having money have long gone.
Yeah.
So there's a question coming in from someone just sort of leading on to your practicing. So he's wanting to get better. Yeah. He's fairly new to the game. What would be your advice to him?
You've got to practice against better players than yourself, basically, and just match practice. So it's pointless sort of practicing and playing someone and sort of playing quickly and going for little flare shots here and there, and then you come to a match and you think, right, I'm going to play slow. You need to practice as you would play in a match, whatever tempo that is, whether it is quick or slow. You need to and sort of study the table as you would do in a match. Some people sort of like to play for small amounts of money for sets and things for concentration. If you want to do that, I've never done that, but I know people who do. that can help. But the main thing is to try and practice with people better than yourself. I mean, I was lucky when I was growing up. I was the youngest of all the up-and-coming players in our area, so when you're like 9 and 10, that makes a big difference. If someone's 13, they're the chances are going to be a lot better than yourself. So I was always practicing with people who were miles better than I was. And then sort of when, as a group, we got a lot better, myself, Ben, etc. We had a couple of senior players in our area who were really good as well. So it sort of, we weren't, up until we were sort of 20, we were competing against people who were at least at our level. So that helped a lot. But
keeps that fight, doesn't it? So if you're playing an opponent who's if he's winning 7 and you winning 2, you're fighting more and more.
Yeah,
eventually you get over that line.
I mean, I started playing sort of in the leagues and things when I was 8 years old, and we basically stayed in the same group.
8 years old.
Yeah.
Wow, that's young.
But it wasn't until I was 15 that I was actually any good.
Right.
So I had 7 years of practicing against people, against like Ben. Obviously, he was a couple of years older than me. He was like junior world champion and things. I was practicing against them, and obviously I couldn't beat any of them. So I had about 7 years of that until I got about 15, 16. Then I started to get pretty good then.
Yeah.
So that's a big thing, really. I mean, if you're just practicing with your mates and things, you're not really learning anything, and you're not getting put under pressure, which is a big thing, because if you're playing someone who's not as good as yourself, they're not putting you under any pressure. You turn to an event like this when everyone can beat you. They start putting you under pressure. You're just not used to it.
I mean, we keep saying it, but the standard is a little bit ridiculous, isn't it?
Yeah, it is. Yeah. I mean, I the first event of the year, I practiced a lot. It was more coincidence than anything. I think Jordan Shepherd was down for the week, and we had a couple of sets, and he likes to play for small amounts of money to help his concentration. So I'm not a fan of losing much money, so I was putting a bit of work in as well. And I turned up to the event. I felt really good. I felt as if I could. I was thinking I'm going to try and win both events here, and I didn't get close in either of them. I just got popped off the table basically. So the standard is obviously really, really high, and it helps that with this cloth as well, that all the tables are the same. Because even like last year, I mean, they're all brushed and ironed and everything, but there's variation in the cloths. It's just the way it is. So there's always going to be little things, but obviously these tables, they play all the same. So that helps a lot as well.
I still find it bizarre that the balls roll straight. There's no nap. Curve. It's just it's quite bizarre, isn't it? Because we've all seen that for 20, 30, 40 years for some of us. But yeah, to see a ball go straight, not curve with nap is still.
Yeah, I say sometimes I like the ball hard, but sometimes I like to roll the ball, and it's comforting to know that you can roll it, and as long as you cue it right, it will roll where you want it to roll.
That's right.
Because even the best conditions in the world, you're going to get little marks and things like that, which obviously they have much less of an effect on this cloth because there's nothing there for anything to grip onto.
Have you had to adapt anything in your game because of the cloth? Have you made slight little tweaks to any aspects?
I'm not really sure, because I had a new cue last year, so that took a bit of getting used to. But I think this cloth and the shots you can play in it suits my game anyway. Like the little flick shots, you can get a lot of reaction on, and you can sort of keep the side and the white ball a lot longer, which is what I tend to do anyway. So I think the cloth suits me. So I don't think I've really had to adapt my game that much, to be honest. Because as I say, it does play different, but it's not a massive jump from a cloth that we were using last year. It's better, but it's not sort of chalk and cheese. It obviously looks 100 times better and does play better, but it's not a massive jump to what we had before.
So what do you think of Dave's swanky new overhead cameras and
little
cameras on the other table, and it's.
Yeah, there's a lot of screens here now, isn't it?
That's the overhead view on there.
Oh yeah, that's great, and that looks really good with the cloth as well. Really good, yeah.
And there was a shot because this camera that it's got, it can zoom into like an area, so it can zoom right into a corner pocket basically. And there was a shot that Jordan played. I don't know if you saw it at the end of his match. When they called Mel over to...
It was a cluster, I saw that, yeah.
And he whacked it, and we managed to get it on the slow-mo so we could see it come in.
Excellent, yeah.
But really, really close up.
It's good, especially with the overhead, because especially sitting from here and looking on the screen, some of the shots are so deceiving. When you commentate and it can look a lot easier or a lot tougher from here.
Mhm.
And it's obviously when you're out there playing, it's a bit.
There's a gap that big.
Yeah, exactly.
Right, well, I think we're almost about to get underway. Ronan's making his way into the arena.